He stops carving and he looks down at her. Beasts like this one that attacked you are never going to stop coming. More every day. You have to do what you can to protect yourself and those you care about. Easy for you to say. You have the strength of a dozen men, and I can barely win a battle with a butter churn. What am I supposed to do exactly? He continues carving at the beast. Scratch, punch, claw, bite. Survive. You do whatever you can. You have people to return to. I can't possibly drop that sheepishness. A shepherd cannot be more so than her flock, I'd say. If you want more than this, I know a place where you can take the first step. I know of the place you speak. I simply can't. Someone like me could never. The armor-clad man interrupts her with a stab of his carving knife into the blood-soaked wooden stump, loud enough to cause her to jump and deep enough to split the wood. Fine then. Run along home and cower. The crows need food too, after all. I've spent enough words on cowards. He turns wordlessly to leave the smoldering embers of the camp, with the lion's share of the carcass of the giant serpent thrown over his shoulder. The shepherd's daughter didn't know if it was his words or his silence that spoke louder, for as he turned to leave, his lesson spread through her like wildfire. Wait! She cries out. He stops, and she can see the smile breaking across his face from behind. How would I even find you if I were to go? What's your name? The man turns and faces her with a glowing mouth of white teeth and a faint laugh. Good. Now that mask of yours is off, we can have a conversation, get properly acquainted. Let me introduce myself, eye to eye. He reaches a blood-stained hand out, and as equals she takes it, soiling her already dirt-smeared dress as he speaks. Hello. My name's Kelly. Welcome, travelers, to the Dragonleaf, the tea house where tales are told. That was a long, short story. So I'm going to be taking a vacation from this gag segment at the end of Welcome, travelers, to the Dragonleaf, in case it'll save a little bit of time. Not a lot. So initially I figured it'd be a good idea to save that time. It's a long conversation. So eventually I could just segue into if you like the content bit, but now I'm actually thinking it's probably a bad idea. I should say something. I'm indecisive. No, stick to my guns. Think of the time I'll save. If you like the content, leave a like in the tip jar and subscribe to our weekly tales. Leave a comment in the suggestion box to tell us how well we did or how well we did not. Thank you for listening. And without further ado, I need to remind myself to not look over at my friends while I'm doing this. It's time to open up shop. Hello, everybody.
That was a very quick intro, huh?
Thank you. I thought so. Effective.
Are we allowed to put comments? Yeah. I might have some comments to leave in the tip jar of why I didn't like it.
Put that on the video where everyone can see them. Leave a dislike in the tip jar.
Yeah, dad lore. Dad lore!
Maybe. Spicy dad lore.
Ooh.
Let me tell you a story, kids. That's what Lavos voice sounds like.
Let me tell you a tale all about how my life got... Nope. Last time.
His voice changed drastically, though. Jeez.
The Deviants came out on top through a harrowing battle against the Glimmer Devourer, with a little help from a mysterious blood magic wielder. Jojo rushes to the aid of her mother to find two individuals wearing ceremonial robes, bartering for the gemstone that Jojo had stolen from the Cerelith's body. As the two are dispatched, and the Cerelith takes one final blow, unleashing the alchemist's fire it was desperately attempting to keep contained. It tears through it, removing its ability to regenerate, and the family puts the finishing touches on the two religious. And as they prepare to leave the mine with their lives intact, one of them shifts and distorts into a creature of pure energy. With its will diminished, from the gemstone removed from its body, shattered into pieces, it falls once more. And the party finds silence in the cave. With Rowena rescued from the clutches of the creature's mental control, and the party moving in towards finding an escape from this place, we jump back in. So, what do you do?
We were trying to get up this wall, right?
There was a ladder before, so you could still...
There's no ladder.
The dude was climbing it before.
It's like a rough stone wall. It's climbable.
Oh, okay. You guys gonna make your way up here, or...? don't think going back the other way is an optional.
You want to drop a rope or something? Does someone have a rope?
Mm,
I have a rope, but it's not good for this. Killian is just like dragging the corpse of the Mistra person towards the rock wall.
give me a second. Vincent he does have a backpack on him. Takes it off and puts it down and goes through the bit and does pull out a rope. He'll tie it to like, what looks sturdy? These pillars here or the statue in the center?
As you were glancing around, you see this kind of like pale blue stonework and a large dwarvish statue. That looks rather sturdy. As you look around, you see large pillars and the entrance to what seemed like, at the very least one point, a very ornate passageway leading in beyond where you currently are that has been fully collapsed as this cavern seems to have caved in to the north.
Okay, he'll tie it to here and then he'll drop it down.
So 60 feet of rope, yes?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a rope too, but I'm wondering if we should tie up your mom, Jojo. She did try to stab you earlier.
So the wall is
No.
the wall's 50 feet high, so you probably need to put it around this statue here.
Okay, I'll do it there then.
No, I think she's fine now.
And sorry, it is 50 feet of hempen rope, not 60.
50? Okay. So in that case, then you guys just need to jump a little bit, but it's more than enough for you guys to actively get up there. The rope is lowered. I will say this, though, as well, just a little bit of cleanup. Vincent, as you were searching around, there's a few smaller things that you also managed to find. The weapons that were on the individuals. So you guys, are you going to take this? It's considered loot, basically.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Vincent was grabbing stuff off the ground on the way over anyways.
So the individual who is previously fleeing, as a spell scroll on him. It is a spell scroll, and you can see based on the markings that this is an ashen scroll capable to cast from anybody, of a spell called Borrowed Knowledge.
Ooh.
He had a
Have that one.
potion on him that is immediately not like discernible to you.
Is it a different color than the normal healing potions?
Definitely not a healing potion.
Take a crack at identifying it.
I don't know if we have 10 minutes to chill around right now.
Oh, not the spell, just like.
I think this was
alchemist.
this was given to Vincent previously, just because he was like
I see.
examining the room. If you guys want to
Gotcha.
kind of like stop and show all this stuff, that's totally cool. But at current, I don't think you would have seen it.
All good.
And a +1 short sword. As you pull it out from the sheath, you can see it gleams with the faint bit of magic and a keen edge that attempts to cut at the sheath it was in.
Is it finally made, like Mastercraft?
God, no. Just a short sword that has been enchanted to be significantly sharper.
Okay.
So +1 short sword.
He'll put it at his waist. He did not bring his fancy rapier.
And previously, so as you guys are all moving, you climb up the rope to enter into this second area.
You need me to carry the dead guy up the rope?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Is that like a check?
I'll need athletics, not for whether or not you can succeed, but just how long it takes you to accomplish that.
Oh, bad.
That's bad. That takes you, it's probably a good 15 to 20 minutes to actually manage to get up this rope with the weight of this guy on your shoulders.
Okay. As that time's going on, then Vincent's gonna scout ahead a tiny bit. He did not expect his friends to take that long. Get up the rope. He'll just, still in like eye shot of them, he'll look down the corridor. Just make sure that the noise didn't set anything off. He seems that most of the glimmers down here have been killed, probably by those two individuals.
One thing you take note of when you look at these mushroom kind of gemstone creatures, they're not flittering away to ash like the rest of the creatures you had seen in this room have done. And as you all continue to ascend the wall here, Jojo, I'll move you up. Matilda, you had your hand raised?
I did. There's all these weird and cool like fungus shit on the ground that looks
you
real.
do have some of that in your inventory already. You have some shriveled fungus and some crystals from last session.
Okay. But is there anything else? Just while I'm getting ready to leave, Just like a quick look with my discerning eyes or anything that I can see that I'm just like, ooh, that looks like a good specimen.
With your passive perception. Oh, you're looking specifically at these creatures? Or the natural elements around you. Do you have proficiency in perception?
I believe yes. Hold on, let me just double check so I'm not saying yes and then I don't, but I feel like I do. Yep, I'm proficient in perception.
There's also a question. You fell unconscious. Dark vision was cast on you. Dark vision is not concentration, and it was cast by a different person. So I think you still have dark vision. What's the duration on that? An hour?
8 hours.
8 hours.
8 hours.
Yeah. Okay, you're totally good. Glancing around, looking at these creatures. It's also interesting because you see the world in a dark static around you in ways that you had never seen before, and that's very fun. But as you glance at these creatures, the moonlight here does not exist. I keep saying creatures. You glance at the fungus and the natural elements around you. Roll nature. Because you have proficiency in perception, roll with advantage. You're in dim lighting, so you actually have disadvantage. That's a straight roll. I will take the first dice here, which is the better one. 16. Looking around the leathery kind of texture of these things, as you look at them, you're curious on how they taste, but they don't particularly seem like they have any extreme medicinal value or anything else at a glance.
I'll take the one to see how it tastes, and I'll put it in a test tube. It's just like, doop, doop, doop.
Okay, you cut a small bit of the vegetation off and safely managed to put it in before continuing your way up. The Mistra family member being carried by our own Jojo. Matilda, you make your way up the rope. It takes you, I think, longer than others, as you have very likely never climbed a rope before. But as you make your way up, it's all of you, actually. None of you have proficiency in athletics except for Jojo, yes? You are the only, even with a person on your shoulder, you're just like, and it's hard, and everyone's looking at you like, I'll be fine. And then everyone's just like, making your guys' way up, you're out of breath. Vincent previously, over the course of a few minutes, had begun to scout.
Since this took so long too, his flying disappears, unfortunately. 10 minutes.
During your scout, you would have had the fly at that moment, so you can get a little bit further than you otherwise would. But as you continue to move throughout the chambers, you see pathways. You make your way to a old wooden bridge that is built across this large gap, and as you look down the bridge, you can see that there is two holes on either side, not covered, that lead down into a lower section. As you continue through the chamber, moving... go ahead and roll stealth for me as well. Ninja roll.
Ninja.
Oh, keep doing that.
You make your move over to this section. You actually, for a moment, you stop to look at this creature, and then you see that it's just not moving, similarly to the other myconids that you had seen. Passing through, you manage to find some light and carry into a small section.
I don't think he'd go this far.
No? Cool. And then as you begin to
I
travel
don't think
back.
he wants to be like completely separate from the group. He'll probably scout down. He's noticing that everything's dead along the way, and then he'll go back and basically spend the next probably 5 or so minutes waiting for the rest of his companions to get up.
Most excellent. And as you all arrive here in the second chamber, you all manage to see this kind of... It looks like the entrance to a dwarvish civilization. Carved out, you see fine-looking dwarvish architecture and various different walls. These large pillars that extend upwards with stone reliefs of working dwarves across the tops of them. And Rowena kind of looks around with just this look of wonder before kind of just shaking herself back into the scenario and moving solemnly. What do you guys do?
2 things. One, just making sure I would have picked up my gun that I dropped in order to use the sword. But I just figured I'd throw that out there. And then the second thing is Killian is going to fix her hat and look like a gnome again.
As the disguise once again pulls in and Killian disappears and Chloe returns.
What is your name? I know we're probably not calling you what your...
It's Chloe.
No, I meant Stabby McStabbyson.
I mean, my mom.
Yeah.
Jo-
I'm assuming.
Matilda, I'm just gonna put my hand up here a little bit. You've attacked more people so far that I know of than she has, though. So let's just leave that as things as they be for right now. We can deal with our own personal issues after.
Cool. Still, what are we calling her? Do you have a code name? I'm assuming we're not going to go out busting your name out here in front of everybody.
I don't know how useful it's going to be since we seem to have been made. But yes, you can call me Rhea.
I'm
Okay.
Vi. That's Cleo? Chloe?
Clea.
Clea.
I believe
Joe.
I just went
And I
by
point
Joe.
towards Jojo.
Yeah.
And Matilda is
Margaret.
Margaret.
Okay. Are we planning on just getting out of the city? Are we done with your mission, Mom? Like, we were just trying to make the materials that Mr. Ugan need to start heading out of this town again, right? We haven't really solved that yet, right?
We need to make sure that what it was that was causing this, and then she looks down towards the creature and she says, is dealt with. And I mean, that seems like a pretty good, viable, potential connection there, but we need to ensure that the mission is finished. It would not...
Most. Oh, sorry. Continue.
It would not be a bad idea. We must get outside and ascertain the position outside, see whether or not people are still suffering from this sickness. And if this has been dealt with, the Lyrian Order is still a problem.
Yeah.
I think it's still wise we keep our cover. We're still going on the fact that we're part of the Lyrian Order if they ask, and we're just... I don't know what your cover was, Rhea.
Priestess.
Yes, I was the priestess of Saloon.
Okay. Well, let's get out of here. We'll have guests at the beginning of the dungeon.
We should
Yeah.
probably find a place where we can hide out and rest, though. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sort of on my last legs.
I expect we might encounter some issues, but so far everything I've seen down the hallways has been dead, but...
Rowena approaches you and says, guests? Was someone involved?
I don't know. They don't seem to be a part of the Lyrian Order that I can see. They were saving some of the dwarves that were up here. They don't want to be seen or known, so I don't really know much about them, dear. But they right away recognized us from Amaranth, so I'm assuming they're part of some sort of family. One of them helped us cut the jellyfish in half, so I helped in a way.
That's not good. That's not good at all. Another family
No.
must be interfering with all of this. Involved in some
Well-
way. We must hurry. We must speak with these people. She just kind of begins to hobble forward best as she can.
I'm holding on to the dead guy, by the way. I'm
Yeah.
just not bringing him with me.
I just made him invisible.
It's an old scout around this corner because he hasn't seen here yet. Oh yeah, there's doors here.
There's several doors that you can see. Two to your immediate right, and to the south
Vincent
of
will-
the far chamber, you see a wooden one that's kind of
Yeah.
broken away.
Vincent will hold up his hand, and in your guys' mind, he'll ping each of you really quickly. Hold up, let me listen. And he'll go over to the door and just try to put his ear against all of them and see if he can hear people talking or something on the other side of them.
With your passive perception alone, you hear silence. Just a echoing chamber.
On all of them?
You go up to both doors. It's like a set of double doors.
Mhm.
Seems to lead to the same place.
And then this one.
You walk over to this door. It's actually somewhat broken away enough that you can see straight into it. And as you glance in, you see a raised platform with a ladder leading up to wooden palisades.
What does that seem like an exit?
Immediately from what you can see, you can't see past it.
Looking at the ground, does it look like there's drag marks from all the dwarves that were dragged out of here? And if so, what doors was it going through?
The drag marks only made their way to about the end, just before that wooden bridge, and then they disappeared.
Ah, so they might have gone down. Interesting. Okay. Well,
Should we check out what's down there, or?
I think it would take a while to get down there. It's a bit of a drop.
Let me just take a look. Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
It's all good.
Not that I could see.
There we go. It was just before the...
It's that.
Is there like more space down here, or?
Oh, you disappeared from me. Oh, no, I see you. Go ahead and roll perception as you kind of bring yourself down and attempt to look. The stone carries down quite a ways, but there's still maybe things to see. Mysteries abound. With a 19, you glance down. You actually see your guys' own dredged footprints. As you glance down, you're taking a look. You guys have passed through this chamber previously.
How high up are we?
It's about 30 feet to the ground from where you are. 20 feet to the ground, sorry.
Yeah, what do you guys think about this? We could get out this way. Unless we want to see where that ladder up goes. Maybe that's a better exit than the one we came in.
Well, it's up to you guys. I'm still good to go forward a little bit, but you seem to be in worse way than I am. So maybe the exit is more preferable in this sense.
I mean, the exit that we took has the Lyrian Order commander.
Mm-hmm.
Unless those guys took care of him.
This might lead to the other exit. There is 2 of them in the mines.
Yeah.
But
This might be on the higher up one.
But if their tracks went the way we came,
We'll see. They still might have. They seem to be capable. They might meet us around the other exit. I'm not sure. But this definitely feels like, and he'll point towards the door at the end of the hall. This one could lead up. It goes up, so that could be the first entrance. Though I'm not sure what's through here. We could take a peek if you want me to.
it couldn't hurt.
Vincent will go up to the door and see if he can open it like a little bit. He'll check the door, like see if there's anything on it to like trigger any noise or a trap or something first before he opens it though.
You walk up towards it. You go ahead and roll investigation for me.
Can I help?
You may. You walk up next to Vincent. Go ahead and roll one more d20. Doesn't seem trapped.
Okay. And then he's going to open it up a little bit so he can see in.
You jiggle the handle. Locked.
Seems to be a lock, though. Wasn't quite in the car. Oh, wait. I'll pull out the ringlet of all of the keys from the dude.
Place
So
the
they
key.
look like they fit the door.
Move one key at a time, popping down. Door unlocks and swings open under the weight of the key itself. Looking on in, I'll just go ahead and open both of these. Looking into the room, you see a destroyed wooden wall, and a destroyed stonework wall, and a various degree of storage chests. Rowena looks in and says, "I wonder if my stuff is in here. That would probably be useful for us."
Right. We can spend a couple minutes here having a gander. Vincent will just look around for anything worthwhile, magic items or.
Please
expensive thingies.
inspect anything before you open it.
Here's what I will say. If you guys want to do this safely, take you about 15 minutes. If you want to try and do it quick, it'll take you about 10 minutes. And if you want to really try and just rush job, grab what you can, it'll be 5. But they will be varying different degrees of difficulty.
I'm okay taking the full 15.
I don't like the gong went off, but like the mine would have made it echo out. I don't know if anyone would come right away. Plus, they'd have to jump down into the jelly pit.
Also, too, when the jellyfish died, there was a big thing of like, bleh. So like I think a bunch of people died at the same time because it was like a hive mind thing.
Okay.
Would this be an investigation?
This would be investigation.
Group investigation?
Perception, sorry. Investigation is specifically about like clues and piecing together information. In this case, or attempting to find hidden traps. But this will just be a perception check.
I do want investigation because Matilda will not let anyone open any of these boxes until we check to make sure that they're safe to open.
Here's what I will say then. You roll the investigation in order to check the boxes and make sure they're safe. Everyone else roll perception to attempt to search through the boxes that are safe.
Okay, whew, dirty 20.
With a 20, Matilda, you do find at least one textbook trap, on the southern chests, the two that are kind of rimmed with metal. As you go to slowly open it, you feel this like just a little bit of a tug, and reaching in, you find a small string that you dislodge, safely stopping these two chests that were previously trapped. Opening it up, you see on the inside, it has alchemist's fire set to a small cork that would open and just erupt over the chest if it was opened improperly. And with the rest, Vincent 25, Jojo 14, Killian 6. You guys managed to successfully search the room within the 15 minutes, opening every chest, finding every small little crate that you find to be useful. Rowena finds her scrolls, or scroll case rather. Many of them are missing. There are 3 scrolls remaining. She finds her spellbook, which is just incredible news for her. And she finds a few small stones, one of which is a sending stone. Then she kind of sighs in relief, having found that. The rest of it, you guys find a visibly magical toy soldier. Carved with runes on the bottom in this kind of just spiraling pattern towards the center. You find a Vincent Rejoice. You find a bottle of Boundless coffee. One that you recognize immediately, having seen it on multiple different people up to this point.
He just gets up, walks over, and he's like, "This is mine," and he puts it in his bag.
You guys find a cloak that is visibly elvish. As you are looking at it, you can see the brilliant make and the masterwork flourishes across it. You find 2 potions of healing. Let me know when you guys are. There's quite a bit here. This is a nice little stash.
This is what Matilda wanted. Was the potions. She's like, oh my god.
So before anybody takes any of this, we'll just make note of it, and then we'll figure it out from there.
I've taken note. The only thing that would really affect what we're doing right now, because I'm assuming the other stuff we'd have to identify, is the potions of healing. So I'm fine with Matilda taking them. So right now.
Okay.
I'd probably give 1 to Killian, 1 to Matilda, because Killian always seems to be shy on the potions.
Yeah.
Is everyone cool with that?
I was just excited we found them. It was not for Matilda to take them. Just wanted to say that. I'm excited that we have them.
And you find one more thing. 2 potions of greater healing.
Oh, damn.
Which I'll now say after we figured out the potion situation. A diamond that looks very worth having. It's worth 350 gold pieces. Quite fine looking. You find 3 rubies worth 150 gold pieces. Each.
Oh no.
And 21,000 copper pieces.
How can you give us that in gold? Is it
200
capable of carrying this out? It's like a giant ass sack of copper.
Yeah, the copper is rather heavy. One of these chests is filled with copper, essentially.
Jojo's carrying capacity is. What is her carrying capacity?
Yeah, Vincent will
Make sure you add
85.
Make sure you add on 120-pound human male onto that.
Right. Yes.
temporarily. If we filled up one of the sacks with the copper, how much would that weigh?
The copper weighs about 45 pounds.
Could you carry him, Jojo, or not? Or sack over one shoulder, do
Or
those together?
So this human is 125 pounds?
Yeah.
Yes. 120 pounds even.
Oh.
100 copper is 21 gold, right?
Yes.
I can still carry
Feels
about 80.
Yeah, this
pounds.
isn't worth it.
It's
Feels like we could probably leave this behind.
210 gold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 210 gold for it.
Yeah, I can carry about 80 more pounds other than this human.
Okay. This is only about 40, 45, he said, so we can do it. It's 210 gold.
Jojo, you just load yourself up. And now, really missing Paka.
Yeah.
Where's our mule? Love that little guy.
You guys also received this. Get rid of that. And you received this. Get rid of that. And upon completion of looking through this area. Oh. Okay, scroll. You also find one last thing. Hidden in a small chest, tucked away, you find 400 gold pieces worth of unrefined mithril alloy.
Oh my gosh!
How much is Zach gonna weigh?
15 pounds.
I'm
Killian will
assuming
go
I'll
ahead
give
and
that to Killian.
yeah, Killian's willing to carry that weight.
Looking at
Matilda
this
and
with your
Killian.
with your proficiency, Killian, you are fairly certain you could make a nice addition for one of your homunculi / bladebeak that would increase its armor class if you were to utilize this in
Wow.
creation of something.
She has lots of plans.
Excellent. You guys finished this 15-minute search fest and managed to just scrounge everything that you find notable about here. Matilda, with your previous investigation check, you also take note that this wall here, a little bit of air passing through it.
Oh,
Huh.
there's air,
Vincent
wind.
will go up with his new short sword and just kind of poke it, see if it's an illusion first.
It is solid.
Can maybe there's like a button, something to pull around here to open it.
I can take a look. Could I do an investigation?
I'll
Absolutely.
help her.
I don't
Okay,
need
you have advantage.
I have advantage because of my Medal of Wit already.
And I'll just do it myself.
Excellent.
It's only 14 for me though.
As you both take a gander over the wall, doesn't look like it's mechanical. Seems relatively shoddy. Like this wall seemed to have been built here to segment two rooms, one of which is now some kind of treasure room.
Oh, should I smash this wall?
No, make a small hole, and then we'll see where this goes.
So smash a small hole.
No, just like shove the butt end of like something and like.
It's stone, Matilda. I don't.
Oh,
Gently kick a small hole.
There you go.
Okay. I kick out one of the stones.
You do. You just kind of reach
Okay.
over, and with the force of your body as you have with this giant strength inside of you, you force out a small stone as the small section of the wall begins to crumble out, and about 3.5
this
foot
room.
gap leads through.
You know what this is.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay. So we could go this way if the other one's a dead end. To note.
Jojo just sort of looks at the body on her shoulder. That means we could have come back for you. God damn it.
Ah,
And then you recall the two that you currently have imprisoned.
we
Ah.
should leave them there. It's fine. Okay, let's go.
As you guys begin to search the southern area, checking for traps, you determine there to be none, and opening upon the door, you find it unlocked. Relatively shoddy. You just kind of force the door open, and the wood kind of breaks away with mold.
We should
And-
move stealthily, just in case.
Hey mom, did you find a component pouch?
I did. There's
Okay.
I've some things remaining in here. She takes a look and kind of ties it to her waist. You see she takes off these like gaudy shoulder pads and throws them away and just begins to tie up like a toga, brings her hair up. Jojo.
I've got a component pouch too if you need some stuff, just let me know.
Why?
For when I cast spells.
When you do what?
Guys, stealth.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Reel in the pride. Reel in the pride. She
Can
begins
be
to move
joyous
forward with
later
you.
after we survive this.
Understood? I promise. Which spells?
So yeah, I don't know if you want us to roll stealth, but he's moving up the ladder stealthily.
Moving up the ladder. Everybody give me a group stealth check. Killian, I don't think that was blind, but I can't tell.
It is.
Yep.
Oh, awesome.
I'm learning.
I just made a macro.
As you guys reach the top of this location, each of you feels a divine spark of inspiration tear through your body, and you each gain a point of inspiration.
Oh, I already had one.
You guys see your on your tattoo, on your wrist, a small diamond begins to form almost as ash, like just flets over, and you have a hollow diamond on your left wrist now.
Can Vincent make it through this?
As you look through this like thin hole between these two palisades, you actually glance down and you can see that it's the entrance to the mine. As you are moving stealthily, looking through, these palisades themselves could just be like kicked out if you wish. But as you guys are moving silently, you hear a commotion coming down the main mine shaft. As a familiar individual begins to move his way, into the mine.
The dude with the big axe, I assume.
The dude with the big axe moves his way into the center of the mine and begins to look around, seeing just
It's a wreck.
dead Lyrian Order members, blood everywhere. A creature that is just frozen to the wall and just unconscious. Another one, miners that have been fucking crushed in the center of their bodies. People who are blown to bits and just immediately... You see two other Lyrian Order members just begin to move through in formation as he begins to take a glance around. Roll perception for him. Come on. At this point, you guys hear, "Ah, protect her!" As the dwarf you guys had let free previously, who ran off to the northern section, comes to the edge, raises a pick, and just collapses down with the last bit of his energy, slamming into the floor below and just shattering into pieces. He looks towards this and says, "I am fucked," and turns and just begins to run off to the west, as the Lyrian Order members just shit, move on after him and continue outwards. You see him begin to leave your guys' view with your successful stealth checks.
Is he going into the mine or out?
He has went to the left and is continuing his way past. You can hear his footsteps diminishing into the distance.
So like the way that we went in, like around the corner.
Exactly.
Okay. We should head out now. We'll be able to bypass them. Can Vincent thinks that we can all squeeze through here quickly?
Squeezing through there, like these palisades are made of sharp stone. If you were to squeeze through, you're currently 50 feet above. You're looking way down.
Okay. Well, from down below, there's no way to get to the other side then, right? There's no exit from this area, basically.
The palisades themselves can be broken. You see wooden palisades here in front of you.
On the bottom, though? 50 feet down. Oh, the palisades in front of us. Yeah, Vincent, he'll wait till they're like out of earshot. And they're running down there, and he'll try to he's got a crowbar in his back. He'll try to use that.
Go ahead and roll stealth with advantage. With a crowbar, you're able to dismantle this. It's just about how quietly you can accomplish that. That'll do it. As you bring the crowbar out with a 20, you just kind of pop open the main support, holding onto the wood, laying it down. You have a pathway out.
But it's 50 feet up, or we're good?
You're currently 50 feet up. As you stand and you look down, you can now see that there's this just below you, 35 feet down, there is a wooden raised platform that the dwarven miners were mining on previously, and below that is the ground.
I can feather fall us again. You guys want to do that? Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's the smartest thing to do.
Okay.
Rowena
Yeah.
rushes up to you, climbs the ladder, and looks with just doe eyes.
Yeah, that's one of those. She brings out the feather and does the verbal, somatic, and material components. All of them. It's all of them.
Show off.
Yeah.
Roll stealth to attempt to cast this without your voice echoing throughout the chamber.
Ooh.
Yes, that is true. Let me just double check that it is all of them. First level, featherfall.
Vincent turns towards Jojo quietly, and he'll try and show her how to he'll do it like he's been doing it in the past. Could he aid her?
With advantage?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. You have advantage on
Okay.
the stealth check.
There we go.
Stifling your voice, the weave begins to reverberate, and you can feel Vincent, it's loud to you, and then it passes by you, Vincent, and then just hushes to a whisper, and then to Killian it's nothing but a whisper. To Rowena, she has to listen in to hear it as your voice seems to move in different directions chaotically. But the silence manages to reign in, and you all feel yourselves, as you hop off this section, descend gleefully, and you manage to make your way to the bottom of the chamber safely. Now looking towards the entrance, you guys begin to move. And you feel a invisible wall before you.
He's gonna look around for his friends and see if they're the cause of this.
For fuck's sakes.
There is a door to your right that you see open, and gleefully, two individuals step out. You see the female exit first and look around over towards the lot of you, and she's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. No threat. and calls out towards the other one, who strides forward over and leans up against a wooden support, just staring at each of you one at a time.
Hello, dear. I'm glad you like to keep your appointments. I like those who do that.
We have to determine whether you will die. My sister is flights of fancy. I'm not so much.
You'll smile at her sister then.
Smiles back and cocks her head. She kind of like brings herself down for a second, like just sitting on the ground in this just cross-legged situation. She places 2 hands on the ground and just begins to look at you guys, cocking her head one at a time. Jojo, what's up?
Could I do an Arcana check for this wall of force? Is it like that spell, or is it like does it look like it's a magic item?
Go ahead. Well, roll Arcana.
Do I at least know it's a high level spell or something?
Yeah, for sure. There's the potential
An
there.
intelligence check, which means it's advantage. Ooh, 24.
This wall does not seem like the spell. The spell is kind of like solid. This one seems almost unstable. This is likely created by some kind of magic item.
Okay, cool.
We don't have much time, so let's get the party started. What do you wish to talk about?
So, show me your ash bond. One of you. You have, I can see bits of it in your hand. Show it to me.
Why?
I need to know who I'm dealing with. The other guy, no questions. Do not consider yourself to have the luxury.
I always have those luxuries, dear. But how can you assure us if we give us all of our information? What are you going to use it for? I'd just like to know. I'm curious.
Insurance. Yes?
Oh, you mean you'd like to come visit?
No. That's not what, sorry. If I do not mistake my nicety for naivety. I can and will kill you all. You're all weak. And even were you at maximum capacity right now, you are weak. So, what do we want? We have mission here, and that's fine. You have mission here, totally fine. Don't mind that. Let you do your thing. Don't interfere with us. Don't cause too much commotion. That is impossible. Because they're stepping outside old fucking chaos. Yes? But it's not our problem. What I want from you is information. And then you can go, and we can go, and everyone is happy.
Information's expensive. Invaluable here.
Killian pushes forward past Vincent, rolling up her sleeve. She looks to Vincent. She's like, I understand a good barter, but this is our lives we're talking about.
Dear, but I don't want her after you specifically. If you will, I can take the fall for this since I got them. And
what else is new? Someone's always trying to kill us. Why not them? And she reveals her full tattoo from her shoulder to her bicep.
She's like, claps her hands together and quickly jumps up onto her feet and begins to move forward. And she's like, finally, someone. I thought all of you were like newbies, but at the very least, you know that everyone's always trying to kill you. That's exciting. She begins to look down and begins to examine.
I let her examine for a short amount of time. I don't let her do a very detailed examination. I don't need her reading all of Killian's stats and shit. So I'll let her
You can't do that unless Killian willingly gives that.
Bullshit.
I don't know if she is.
Are you, Killian?
Killian's just giving her the base knowledge. If she's more pleased, then she'll however it is that she can reveal that information, she'll allow it.
As she looks down and begins to examine. Okay, Artificer, you are Lavos. Oh, I've heard of all of you. And that you are Calamity, and you are you buy metal, and you are the creepy one who blow up the school, and you're Vincent.
Oh no.
You are Goldwater Boy. And as soon as she says that, you see the guy in the back just kind of perks up and looks a little shocked, and then looks towards you and leans back again and is just places his hands back together and looks around. This is his attempt at looking nonchalant. You determine this guy is not capable of
Well, now
hiding
that we've all
emotions.
been introduced here, why
So
don't
much
you
for not
start with the
making waves.
pleasantries? This would have gone over a lot easier. What's your names? Or at least
We-
what can we call you?
We are roll perception. Or persuasion.
Advantage for some reason. Trying to think. Nah. 17.
Your grandfather doesn't like you. We don't need to be nice to you. But
Do you work for
it's-
him?
No.
You
I-
have bad information.
Insight?
He says, stop answering questions. Right.
Could I insight that?
Go ahead and roll insight.
Do I need to roll insight?
Was a 19 passive? I will let you know your answer after Jojo's insight. You determine that she's being truthful, both of you. And she kind of like looks on and she says, okay, you are with Lavos family. Who sent you here then? I don't think Lavos know anything about what is happening here.
No. We came over on accord.
You know, rank break and all that.
Oh, why though? Why are you here? She just begins to smile.
Set to the dungeon.
Dungeon? You're not in the dungeon.
No, but I mean, why does anyone have to do what they need to do to rank break?
Roll I would say Killian, Vincent, and Vincent, were you involved in this statement currently? No,
I was
Jojo
basically
and
just
Killian.
trying to say what Killian said, but she beat me to the punch.
Okay. The three of you can make a deception check. That is a group failure. She says, cool. I feel like it might be language barrier, but you're not understand what you Lavos don't know. What family sent you here?
If you can sense that. But also part of that had to do with, saving Jojo's mother and all of that. That comes with the rank break. It's family business as well.
Oh, yes, half-orc. So, then you are Mama. Cool. Good. I know you're Rowena Manx. I'm aware of you. So, Mistra. Excellent. And
You have bad intel. I didn't blow up a school. Until it
No?
looks at her nails. Nope.
I
Okay.
think you might be mixing that up with me.
Oh, did you blow up school?
No, I didn't, but people say I did. Or at least set it on fire. I didn't do it.
I mean, innocent and guilty people both say same things. She looks towards all of you. She says, thank you. And she taps your arm, Killian. You can return to your previously closed state.
I'm assuming you're not going to tell us anything about yourselves or if you're an enemy or ally.
Well, that would be fun.
Can I take a look for that magic item that's blocking our way?
Go ahead and roll perception. You guys
Yeah,
begin to hear down the way.
we need to go, dear, unless you want to
Oh,
play with
shit.
them. Just
They're
go back.
they're all dead here. Scour the area. 16 perception. As you are glancing around, taking a look at anything that might be maintaining this force field, you do not see it. The two look towards you and they listen to the individuals coming, and then they begin to think about that. Vincent, roll persuasion. And as the footsteps begin to bear down towards you, you guys sense this conversation coming to a quick close. With a 26, she leans in here.
He'll lean into her. Visit me. I'll pay you back for letting us go here.
She places a fingertip, and you can see the finger, smooth, right? Like manicured. Places it to your chin and begins to like attempt to just lift it up, and you can feel a claw moving across your neck. And then she flicks it off and says, I don't like you.
That's fine.
And that's good.
Doesn't mean I can't find what you like.
Maybe. She leans in and looks at you, and then she goes in to grab the back of your head to pull you in for a kiss. Do you allow that to happen?
Yes.
These people are so
viciously, animalistically just begins to go off on Vincent as all of you begin to
Ew.
watch this, and she looks back. This guy runs over and punches you in the face, Vincent. I'm going to go ahead and make an attack roll. There's a 27 hit. Leans forward, punches you in the head, and you kind of like reel back. It's only a few points of damage.
It's only 20.
It's 5 points of damage. As he punches you in the side, you kind of like reel back and you look towards him, and he's just like, "Don't touch my sister." And then she looks towards you, licks her lips, and says, "Pomegranate," and then takes him by the hand and looks towards all of you in confusion.
As Vincent stands up, he'll just like wipe a little blood off his lip. Call me.
You move towards the doorway. The two of them look towards you two, and then these two go to traverse back into the room. Matilda, you had your hand raised?
Are they horny drow? Like, is this like something from
I
that
don't
last?
think they're human. They're not drow.
Ah!
They definitely have horns, though.
They're like headdresses, Adrian said.
They're wearing horned helmets, yeah.
Okay.
But as they move their way back towards the door, she looks towards all of you and gives you like a flittering hand, and he just kind of huffs his way through while looking at you. As the door closes, you hear like, "Bruka, as they begin to argue with each other. It's like, "Oh,
Ooh.
the
Do
door
I recognize
closes,
that?
and then nothing.
The reason why I had my hand up though is we interacted with that drow that was at the Fey Soap Mobbit house, and their behavior makes Matilda think that maybe.
You have seen the drow have a particular like solid misunderstanding of the world of humans
Yeah.
in general, absolutely, but these people seem to be responding in a different light. They just seem to be
Okay.
quite quirky.
Okay,
You said
cool.
that sound effect was this wall of forcey force leaving, right?
As Vincent and Jojo move up towards the wall of force, you put your hand through, it's just gone. And Vincent, you did not recognize the language.
As he looks down, was the business card that he offered her removed from his hand when he kissed her?
I did not see that. It was absolutely taken.
Okay.
And you guys reach the wall. It dissipates. And having successfully given enough information to these people for them to let you go, you begin to make your way back down the pathway using Matilda's keen mind, following the exact path you had taken to get here, all the way back out. Or you guys can take a different route and attempt to find a different exit.
Well, we know the strong dudes behind us, so we might as well just get out as fast as we can.
I don't understand sexuality. We are beaten and bloodied and sore and tired. And what? You still found time to make out and offer stuff? What?
We'll talk about it this later, Matilda. Focus on maybe running ahead.
I don't understand.
You guys run as fast as you can throughout the chamber, and upon exit, you find yourselves on the other side. Listening in, you do not hear footsteps chasing after you. The footsteps begun to disperse into the mine to figure out what was going on, and as you manage to escape, you find yourselves in the midst of the city, looking out at the stone walls once more. You find yourself outside the area of Girder Stormforge's office, and you can hear in the distance just yelling and the sound of just crashing constantly.
Arya, do you have somewhere we could hide out? Lead me.
For the most part, I was taking refuge at the Church of Saloon.
Don't think that's a good idea to go back there.
What about this place? Not like the guards are actually alive. She points to like the
It's really
Burden's
close.
office.
I wonder
Right
if we
under
could
your
go
nose.
find Harold. If we get in contact with him, he might have a place we can stay. Might still be at the church, actually.
We could also just try and get right out of the city.
Don't think staying here is a good idea at all. We should just go.
Okay, let's head out. I was hoping to speak to Harold one last time, but the long-range communication is down. We'll figure it out in the future.
Everybody roll a group persuasion check. Rowena's just staring constantly at the Stormforge office.
I think you want to go to the office.
I guess roll persuasion if you don't want to go there, because if you're okay with it, then you would have no need to.
Everyone
Yes.
having this conversation about, like, we need to get out of here is basically, like, passively making her look up. I want to see how persuasive your conversation is amongst you guys.
I'm not gonna participate in this because Matilda is waiting to see what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Like we would be hiding right under their noses by being here, but like getting out might be the best idea.
Rowena closes her eyes and doesn't say anything. She does not seem to make any kind of move and just begins to move astride you guys. So where do you go from here?
I know we want to leave, but there's no reason why we can't leave without taking some things out of the office first and then cheesing out of here.
We're not.
This is-
We can't just steal everything from them. There's going to be years of attempts to rebuild.
Not stealing everything. There's information in there probably.
Do you think there's something in there that would help unblock trade and everything else? Whatever was going on with, like, what is it, the Stargazer?
Stormforge or something like that.
Stormforge.
You guys begin to hear armored soldiers running down the city streets.
We don't have the luxury of debating. We act now.
Okay.
My vote's to leave. Killian?
Sure.
Jojo?
Yeah, let's leave.
Hey,
Okay. And then I guess we start running.
Rowena takes a look at the surroundings and she kind of just sidles in. She actually is still holding onto that lantern and all this stuff and just kind of tosses it off to the side as it clatters against the ground. And you guys begin to run. I need you all. How are you doing this? Do you want to move maximum pace away as fast as possible using the chaos, or do you want to try and sneaky get your way through the city?
In the chaosy areas, we can move fast, and then if we get far away from them, let's go stealth. Till we've cleared their chaos. Does that work, Adrian?
Okay. That would be 2 checks basically amongst the two of you, but it'd be a different DC. That's
Sure.
what you guys want to do.
I can also help us move in a convoluted route quickly.
Absolutely. So you all have advantage on this on the speed check. You'll have advantage on all of it, actually.
Okay. What is the speed check?
Oh, I'm sorry. Athletics to move as fast as possible.
Is this ninja or are we?
Give me a ninja athletics. That sounds fun.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just about to click the button. I'm like, why do I have a +1? But then I realized my magic item doesn't help me.
Yeah, athletics with the advantage, right?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Oh yeah, I didn't do it with advantage.
And then ninja stealth with advantage.
More dice.
Just so much dice. More dice.
Here's how this works. Killian and Matilda, as you guys are running as fast as possible, your pace is slightly slowed from the two of you, who seem to have been racked with pain and just exhaustion throughout this. But you manage to run through, and as everyone gives a helping hand to make sure you guys' pace remains steady, you hear the armored soldiers in the background that are moving about diminishing. You begin to see the chaos of the lower section of the city in this sector right here. As you circle around, actually, the fastest way you guys would know through the city, because you were already briefed, would have been this way. So moving off towards the west, you are heading towards the entrance of the city, yes?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
to get out of here. Yeah.
While we're running through the chaos, do these people look like they're still cursed?
No, they seem angry now. As they're moving, the people who had previously been like both, you got to consider this too, they were like out of their mind, crazy. Those who had been running from the goblin were like, we're all gonna die. And as they're moving, then as they're being apprehended and held, they come back to their senses and begin to witness all of this. You can see aggressively, give me back my family, as people begin to just tear into each other. Their memories begin to roll back. And as all of this comes to a head at once, pretty much the entire city in pockets has erupted into small civil war. As you guys look on towards this, utilizing the chaos, you immaculately stealthily begin to move around the outskirts of the city. And you now look onwards towards the main gate, which has been heavily closed. quite a few guards, both Lyrian Order and City Guards, are standing here, including
I
the ones
see
that you had previously spoken to
Herald
outside.
it around them, though.
In this entire section, you have not seen Herod.
I could try something, guys, if you wish. I can become Zarek and tell them to return to the chaos. We need some help.
Mm,
Do we hear rabble
think
rousing
snaps.
outside the gate? Like, is there like?
I do.
Like,
It sounds much worse off outside the gate than it is
These-
inside.
It's the other. It's more
These-
people wanting in. Yeah.
Yeah.
These gates. You said it's a double gate. Is it a crank gate?
You see one pet of wooden gates that open this way, one one draw gate that draws up,
Mhm.
both of which seem to be controlled. Let me roll back. The gates that open, the double doors, were manually opened by people. You saw that. The other one, you did not see anybody opening it. So you assume
Okay.
that the outer gate is controlled from the inside of one of these towers on either side.
Okay, so if we can get in there, we could like maybe get people in through the first gate, and then they might break down the second gate for us.
Vincent, how do you feel about inciting a riot? You're very good at inspiring people. You want to
Seems like the
inspire?
riot's already here. We just gotta get them in.
Yeah, you just gotta gather them up and help them focus their energy.
Sure. Just
I'm
let me get rid
sure.
of these nuisances.
Well, I wonder if we can organize them so they can take them out for us, so we don't have to raise a finger.
Out
Have
of the
there-
character, I don't know how I would even attempt
Has there
that.
have there people that we've been seeing that have been around that have been like, "Riot!" This is
Like
getting
we
like
can't
really
see
angry.
anyone.
and, like,
There's a gate in
yeah.
the way. Is what we're.
No, but I mean, like, also in the city too, because people are coming too, and there's people in the city that are like, "Oh,
We'd
now
have to
I'm
run
no longer
back, I'm
cursed
assuming, into
anymore."
the
No,
chaos.
there's pockets just about everywhere.
Yeah,
As you
so-
begin to look into these small neighborhoods that are around you, you can hear chaos in each of these kind of pockets of areas. You can hear some here, hear some here, hear some here, and you can see guards at the gates actively
Guards?
holding closed the gates while others are running to and fro in madness.
So we could focus all of their attention here if we wanted to. That's an idea, but
I was thinking that if Vincent can get in one of these towers where they're controlling the gate, they could like convince that person to open it.
okay, that could work too.
Mhm.
Or we could just knock them out.
Vincent, he'll cast disguise self on himself. He's gonna turn into Zarek.
Who?
Why did we all get invisibility?
Oh, you guys had
He's
invisibility.
Zarik.
I thought I removed it. There we go.
She's turning into the big mean dude with an axe.
Yeah, his name is Zarik.
Oh, Zarik. I see. It's like I turned into a small mouse man. You begin to rush forward. You cast the spell on yourself. In this madness, there is no need to attempt to hide spell casting. As far as you can tell, that would go completely unnoticed. And as you continue to move forward, kind of just ducking into an area where people won't see you shift physically, you become Zarik. Go ahead and roll just perception for me to see how well you match this person's like physicality. You've seen him a
We saw
few
him.
times in passing.
Yeah, we saw him pretty close up. He came and like talked to Matilda face to face, and his mannerisms right away. Nat 20,
Flawless.
26.
So fucking perfect. Down to the parts that were already covered. You're just like, he probably has a mole
He's
about
probably
here.
wearing blue underwear. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And as you shift yourself, you begin to move forward, just stomping with your stride and aggression. You begin to move in towards the gates, and the guards immediately turn back towards you. They're just like, what's your orders?
The mines are taken and the city's almost gone. Should let them in and let them at each other. We'll deal with it later.
They're trying to kill us, not each other.
Then get out of here.
Roll persuasion. They're like, you gonna hold the gates for us?
Yeah, I'll hold down here while you guys flee.
Fucking A.
Okay.
We won't forget this. As you
This isn't a
17.
favor.
Aye. They wait for you to kind of like come into position in order to take your place at the gate. Do you do so?
Yeah, he'll walk over. He's not gonna like hold it. He's just gonna like, just as he gets closer, just like, he was wearing like a cloak, right? And like a bunch of gear. He'll walk up and he'll take his axe off his back, even though it's on an illusion, and just hold it. Get out of here. It's about to get messy.
The 4 guards that are at the gate turn and begin to run in the opposite direction past you. One goes to like pat you on the shoulder, and then it's just like, don't dare, as they begin to run past. And just as soon as the gate opens, you see a horde of easily 150 people.
Well, no, as the gate starts to open, Vincent's gonna drop to disguise. Actually, he'll do another one. He'll look like he'll look like a fleeing citizen as they're like running it out of eyesight.
The echoing voice begins to pour through in the panic as the screaming begins to just lift. The 2 doors are now left, and on the inside, you can see that there's a few people who have managed to, as the doorway opens, several people are holding up the dropped palisade gate and are just like holding on as people are beginning to squeak underneath, and they look towards you as you just look like a scared citizen. They just begin to rush past you.
Like an old lady being like, help me.
Okay, so the mystery of the old woman, the mystery of the old woman begins to tear through the history of this place. As you all begin to move into position, they begin to flood past you and begin to chase those Lyrian Order guards, who then turn around and see just nobody helping them and the citizens chasing them down. They begin to run. I'm going to go ahead and just roll 2d20 here.
Matilda.
Performance check for this.
Matilda wants to yell at
Please
them the fastest way to get there, and like where she saw an area to go that was like can fuck them over. The guards just be like, go this way through that neighborhood.
As you begin,
there's sprints in there. You'll kill them quickly.
You begin to add fuel to the fire as the Rowena's both looking at you impressed and mortified. As this continues, and she's sitting there kind of conflicted with all of this situation happening. But as you guys begin to run, the just mob begins to tear through. You guys, it's not even physically possible to move through this amount of people right now. So just kind of sitting off to the side and allowing that to thin out, you guys sneak out in that just hectic madness and begin to see skirmishes on the outside among the city guards. Glancing around, you spot the guard that you had spoken to previously, Cloya, on the ground, littered with bludgeoning marks and unconscious.
Oh no.
And as you look around and see all of these guards just decimated, the citizens begin to move into the now open Ironhall. And as you all find yourselves on the outskirts of town, you feel a clarity in your mind, like a weight had been lifted, that was not something you had noticed up until this point.
Was that the nice guard that was just appointed because he was excited for his family?
Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna go stabilize them. Matilda's like, they were just... No, he wasn't a good person?
I don't think they're stable.
They're not. As you
No.
approach, you begin to look over them, and with your medical expertise, there's nothing left.
Oh shit, they're dead. Okay, can't do anything with that.
Consequences of war, I guess.
I do want to say that Matilda did yell a couple like phrases to like really incite the crowd as they were like walking away.
Did you guys feel like a clarity just hit you? Do you think that there's still something affecting the city? Like if we go back in, do you think that's gonna weigh down on us again, or is that like a...
I walk into the city a little bit.
You move in and people are like, yeah, come on, join the fight. And then as you move in, you once again feel this kind of like faint mental oppression. Kind of looking for it. You manage to feel it now.
Oh, yeah. Let's get out
Probably
of here.
the thing that's blocking the communication out of here.
Do we want to take care of that, or
Do we have any idea where it is?
might be the office? I mean, we'd have to go back in.
Why
And here's
don't
what
we-
happens. In the madness, as you guys are discussing this at the front gate, you see a familiar dwarf and a human woman begin to approach you. However, as they move towards you, the dwarf is not a standing dwarf, but a dwarf sitting on a barrel that skids across the ground. And as they reach you, the illusions drop around them, and you see Mackenzie D and Heath Regani,
They
who
were the
begin to
people I-
approach you. They were the very
I
same.
knew it!
And as they
So
approach you,
fascinated.
Rowena, quick, give us a brief. We gotta figure out what's going on. And then she kind of takes them off to the side. After like 1 or 2 minutes, they come back, and Rowena looks towards you, Jojo, and says, the mission's still going,
Okay.
but I can't do much in this state. I'm going to return to town with you.
Yeah, no shit.
And Heath and Regani, disregarding the swearing young lady, are going to remain here and try and see what they can do.
Did you tell him about the other two individuals?
I gave them as much intel as I could. I told them to keep their eye out for horned individuals.
Well, it's about time they do something.
Heath's like, I don't, what? You started a fucking riot in a day. You don't get to talk about, and then Mackenzie's like, we don't have time for this. Let's go in.
What is cutlery? What did you mean by cutlery?
It's fucking swords, you daft idiot. They begin to run inside as the two leave you behind and head into the city.
Okay, let's go find one of the tents that is somewhat big and vacant. We can maybe use the scrolls there. Unless you guys want to head more out of town. But
May
I'd
as
rather
well.
get back as soon as possible.
I think we should go a bit farther. Maybe not risk it. We only have the one scroll. Unless you got another one, Mom.
I have the sending stone. It should be able to reach directly to he's a new member of he's a communications person. I don't remember his name. It didn't seem pertinent at the time. I can do this. Yeah, you keep your scroll. And then she takes the stone and let's get going. You can see she's flustered, just begins to move out. Oh, okay. She stops running down the cobblestone path and kind of jogs alongside until she reaches the tent that you had pointed out. You guys manage to hunker in. Looking around, you see a whittling knife and a small bedroll and a small chest on the corner of the room. And as you all kind of pack into this tent,
What's in the chest?
go ahead and roll.
I wanted
roll
one
perception.
of the bigger ones on the map that could when Orion comes, he could summon us away. We're not all crowd he'd make sure it works.
Ain't no tent on this map big enough to house all of them characters. I'll say that right now. Just for the map, you guys actively can fit in there, but your characters are the size of 5 tents. I'll shuffle you there for funsies.
I did a new roll by accident for my perception of what's in the chest. What's in the box?
23.
Private roll.
Is that 23 perception?
Oh,
As you
wow.
pop open the box, you see a small handmade coin, potentially by a child, with a sigil on it with a smile that says, I love you, Mom. And you find also 31 copper pieces.
I closed the chest.
And Rowena is like, immediate extraction. Reach Orion.
I look over towards Matilda. Does my passive perception see what's in the chest?
Yes.
Vincent will flick a gold coin into it as she closes it.
Aw.
She says, we just have to hunker down for 10, 15 minutes.
Is your communication person, I say, Megan Morgana's, whatever the fuck her name is, her brother, her missing dumb brother, is that him?
I'm not sure who you mean.
What's her name? The one that we were helping in the cult and
Morrigan's brother?
yeah,
No,
Morgan.
he does not happen to be the communications officer of Mistress Family.
Okay, cool.
At this current juncture. But good question.
Stupid brother. Okay.
You guys hunker down in this tent, and with the madness going on, your absolute clandestine location. No more than a few minutes pass, and then Rowena, kind of just beginning to hyperventilate a little bit, leans back and says,
Orion doesn't always put you right on the mark. He might be a couple of miles out.
Mama, are you okay? What's going on?
you get used to this kind of thing after a mission or two. But you never get used to your baby standing next to you. I'm not a religious person, which is funny considering my line of work.
And all the gods in the city.
But I've been praying for hours and I am exhausted. Please, promise me we'll be okay.
We
Promise
can't
me
promise
you'll be
that.
okay.
Well, here, and I pull a mint leaf out of my bag and give me your hands, and I'll smush it and tell her to breathe into it to calm her down. I can't promise you that we'll be okay or that we'll be alive or whatever, because that's not within, like, I can't make that recommendation or like whatever, but just breathe this and calm down.
Vincent will take a peek outside, just look out while we're in the tent.
Hey, Mom. I'm a wizard.
I know. She begins to tear up. She says, "You worked so hard. Harder than anyone I've ever seen. So
I'm just-
proud of you."
Thanks, Mom. I'm
So
really
proud
glad
of
that you're okay.
Me too. You guys hear from outside the tent, and as a faint smell of singed smoke bears down upon you,
Vincent
you
looks around. Do you think someone saw that?
as you glance, go ahead and roll perception. But leaving the tent, what you immediately see is a tent off to the side with a massive hole burned in the top. And you see a big ass floppy hat leave the outside of the tent. But it looks like a massive, just like corncob hat. And you see this individual with a single very long sprig in his mouth as he approaches, and he just lights a torch and throws it back, and the tent just begins to slowly catch fire as he begins to
Really
approach.
necessary.
God, he's
Yeah.
so fucking cool.
You're gonna need to do that. Cover yourself every now and again.
That accent is horrible.
Fairy. Looking for a fairy. Anyone need passage?
I'll
Yeah.
take it, but dear Lord, he'll gesture in the tent. Come in.
Alright. No, I got a cart over there. Couldn't help but notice an empty one, so that one's mine. Now, let's just get on down the road a smidge.
Okay.
Alright.
He'll look into the tent. We're going for a little ride, guys. Come on.
I've never wanted to stab someone so much in my life.
You hear Mitra's voice in your head. Do it.
No,
Do it
I'll get in
once,
trouble.
do it twice.
No, I'll
Stab
do
him
it
in the
when-
abdomen.
I'll do it when none of my friends are here.
Do humans have a thorax?
that was
If
in
so,
my
stab
head.
him there. As you
Excuse me, singing.
as you make your way towards the cart that is definitely this farmer individual's, the immolation of the tent begins to kind of pour out and around that little surrounding area, and you guys hop into this carriage where he's like, "All right, just hitching up
Jojo
the-"
sort of waves her
Oh,
hand,
see you.
and the fire just around it sort of like snuffs out so that it doesn't spread to other tents. She casts control flame.
Nice.
Okay. And as all of this madness is occurring, you see the people around you. Now kind of just the outer area has emptied. Very few people remain here save for desolation. You can see the bodies of the fallen everywhere. Blood spatters the ground. As you all manage to get your way into this tent, this mysterious farmer hitches it up, turns his way back, and you guys have to kind of move around his massive fucking hat to get onto the inside of the carriage as he, yeah, all right, let's go. The carriage begins to just peel away as you see the slow flames that have now been condensed into a single, very suspicious tent begin to immolate. And the sound of madness within Ironhall gets quieter and quieter the further you travel. Until eventually he's like, all right, now this one's going to be a bit harder, so he pulls off to the side and leans down. And he's like, I fooled you all. It was me all along. And he takes off the hat to reveal that he is, in fact, Orion.
What? Oh, my
Yeah, that's right.
God.
That's right. You got to have a little bit of fun with this every now and again.
It's only fun if you believe it, and I didn't.
So you have to believe.
Well,
Don't believe
did
in
you
you.
know that I'm not Cloya, but... And then she takes off her hat and reveals that she's Killian.
Who the fuck is Chloe? That's amazing. I thought I got you, but honestly, I feel got. That's wild.
Oh my god.
It does feel a little weird laughing with a dead body on my shoulder. That's not usually
You
doesn't
should put
usually
it
feel
down in the
weird.
carriage, Steve.
Okay.
Don't need
Wait a
to
minute.
carry it.
What? He leans in and kind of like looks at the body and shit. I can't actually no.
Sure,
Tell you
there
what.
was
Here.
more of your family members in there that didn't quite make it, but
Sorry
did
about
our
this.
best.
Sorry about this, DuPont. He takes him and places the body back on your shoulder, Jojo, and says, you're going to have to wear him as a little bit of a feather boa for a little while, I think. He'd be considered an object now, right? Is that rude?
Yeah.
Rowan is
No.
like, yes.
I mean, it's kind of like wearing a taxidermy, like fox around your neck at this point.
Spell wise, that is true though.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Whatever means you can make it work.
Does Dupont sound familiar? I feel like that name sounds so familiar.
Roll history.
I've never taxidermied a human before. I mean, if you can't make them alive again, I could always try. Can't guarantee it'll turn out well.
Ooh, I doubt the family's going to be
that's
into
a
that
25.
idea. 25. As you fixate on the name DuPont, you're like, DuPont. You know of a DuPont, a 4th-ranked adventurer in the city, Barrister DuPont. However, this individual, not him. As you begin to...
Oh, that was the one who Sylvia said when I asked about Orion, she thought I might have been talking about Barrister DuPont.
Correct.
Okay.
This individual, most definitely not him. You've seen bits of him around. He looks like just an incredibly weathered and very tired-looking leather-bound individual. This man almost seemed to have an air of whimsy in his face and like happiness that is absent from Barrister DuPont. However, as he lays him on your shoulders once more, he says, all right, just be ready. Some people get a little bit disoriented with this. Where are the rest of the team? Rowena kind of shakes her head. They're gone. And he's sitting there being like conflicting information. And she's like, Mackenzie and Heath are remaining. The rest are gone. Fuck.
Yeah, that place
Alright.
is fucked up.
It's still not quite done, but I'm sure
Yeah.
your family can handle it. Though we didn't come, I'm sure the worst would have happened.
I trust Heath and Mackenzie. They're excellent infiltrationists. He
Oh.
begins to carve this just
Well,
solid wooden circle
they
on the
kinda
ground in
just-
the dirt.
That might be true, but it took too long.
I need complete silence while I'm carving. Not because I need the cooperation, not because I need any kind of focus. I'm
No music?
amazing. Well, please. Never mind, I take it back. I just want you all to shut up.
The feeling's mutual. Please. do
What
this
did I
now.
just... Can we all please just play music? He looks back towards Vincent.
Yes, dear. I'll play the song of your people. Vincent is going to play. It's not. No, it's played very well, but it is the worst song you've probably ever heard in existence.
Oh, Vincent makes
It's
Matilda
got like
feel
weird
better.
jokey bits to it. It could be in like some sort of like weird play.
Nah, I just picture you playing like fucking like it's the honky tonk heartbreak or something like fucking like what is it, Billy Ray Cyrus just for him.
Like he's sitting there and listening to the song. He's like, better, it's a secret. I like it. And then he kind of like leans back as he finishes the circle, takes a black glass knife in hand, spins it around, stabs it into the middle of the circle, and then just pulls
That wasn't
back. And,
necessary.
no, it wasn't. As he pulls back, the entire circle flares to life. And at once, all of you find your bodies just begin to mash, like you're sitting in the center of this just vibrating, I don't even know. And as the energy tears into the sky, he looks on towards you and it's just like, you'll all find that as you just disappear, leaving a carriage behind. The dirt itself lifts enough for it to settle and cover the solid circle underneath. And as you all find yourselves slammed down into the ground of a very familiar wooden cottage in a deep underground cavern beneath a familiar pawn shop. I need all of you to roll a con saving throw. Jojo with disadvantage because of your roleplay.
Adrian, do you think Vincent would have advantage on this?
For
Is his line of work?
A gag? Is that
Yes.
what you're saying?
You have advantage.
Thank you.
If Matilda or if Tamara makes that noise, you have advantage.
Jojo swallows it down.
Oh,
think, with the
no,
14.
ew!
He does like a.
Oh God!
Oh, wow.
Is it a save?
Nat
Vincent,
20.
you land like beautifully and just adjust your collar, and then Carson's like, fantastic.
Is this a
It's-
saving throw?
This is a saving throw.
Okay.
This was a pleasure. It is
Oh, yeah?
so rare that I get to witness a riot in one day. Master, if I can be so bold, you handled yourself beautifully. And then Orion kind of looks across all of you and is like, it was fantastic to meet you. Probably never happen again. I'd say
I'm
good
sure
job,
we'll
but
know.
frankly, I don't know, and I don't offer praise unless I know. So maybe good work. Maybe we'll be talking again in the future.
I'm sure we will, love.
Your confidence.
Can I get an autograph? Is that? I mean, like, is that weird? Is
No,
that-
no, no, it isn't. No,
Okay.
no, it is not weird. Trust me. And he leans in and he
You
like,
just sign.
pulls a wood board up out of the ground and just kind of like casts repeated fire bolts until he tears through it and
Oh
pulls
no,
out
I
that
just have
dagger.
my enduring journal here. I just don't want it to get wrecked.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you
He
can sign it.
he pulls something out of his note, his component pouch, like a black tar, and begins to rub it between his fingers, and you see a quill appear in hand, and then he writes his name with a flourish and lets it go, and he says, "That will be visible in all languages.
Oh,
You can show that to anyone you want; they'll know I signed it."
Can I have an autograph too?
I don't trust you.
Yeah, but what am I gonna do with the signature?
Well, a lot of things.
See Vincent's like cheek slightly.
Tell you what.
just, like, a little more.
I love giving these, so yes, but I'm choosing the paper.
Okay.
Okay. He picks up the piece of wood again. And using the same quill, writes his name, and it kind of glitters against the wood, and he hands it to you sheepishly and then lets it go.
I'm good,
And I-
love.
And I take an etching of the signature in my notebook, and then I light the piece of wood on fire.
As soon as you pull out your book, he immediately takes that from you. And you broke our deal. I'm afraid I can't offer you this treasure again.
Well, I set the wood on fire anyway.
And then he
Insult
pats it
to
out. He's like,
injury.
"We are in a wooden home."
Where are
Underground.
we, by
Yeah,
the way?
underground.
Oh, there's no oxygen underground, of course. I'm so dumb.
Oh, this is the one below the shop. Okay. I need a
Sorry.
shower. Do you mind if we go? I'd like one.
Sounds good to me. And he just turns and begins to head out. Says, I will expect a full report from Rowena. You all, I have no authority over you.
We
Goodbye.
were
Yes.
never here, love.
Yeah.
He turns and begins to make his way out and just passes down the chamber and begins to look at the smooth walls, runs his hands along them.
Vincent's gonna try to mentally connect to him again. You willing to listen this time?
Pick a number between 1 and 10.
Is that what he asks me, or you ask?
Yes.
Like, can I insight check him? What number would he want?
What kind of
One.
what number kind of person is he? Go ahead and
One.
roll
It's a
insight.
7 for sure.
No, because he's so self-centered. It's one.
Coolest number.
28.
Myself.
2 is almost as bad as 1. But as you, it's a 7. Candace was right. That's the number I had in mind.
That's
I can't
because I'm
lie.
psychic. You can't hide from me.
He's a 7 kind of guy. As you look at him,
He
you're
is
just like,
so
lucky
kind.
number 7. It's got to be that.
You feel like a 7 kind of guy to me.
Afraid not, bud.
Are you
But
sure?
I'll humor you. What's up?
Oh, I just wanted to say hi. You cut me off last time. Most people
I-
can't do that.
I did.
Obviously, magic exists, but I feel like this is different.
Reel back. Magic exists?
Yes, love.
Oh my
But
god.
we'll talk about that another day.
I fancied myself a scientist.
Hmm. How are you able to do that? It means you have telepathy as well.
Well, to be fair, I used to be kind of in your line of work, but didn't suit me. So I tried a few different things. Hope that doesn't answer your question.
Can I insight check him?
You know he's being just a bit of a dick. He seems to have no inclination to answer your questions, but he's enjoying this conversation.
Well, You think you might be annoying me, but half my day is idle chit chat, and I do enjoy this.
I'm glad. Tell you what. Become world famous, like I am. And let's get some fucking tea.
See you in a year or two.
Ambitious. I don't hate that. Signing off.
And Vincent strolls up he looks up the long ass ladder,
Yep.
and he sigils in the air and casts fly on himself with his last 3rd level spell slot.
You hear Mo in your cloak say, I will never forget what you've done for me. You returned for me. I am forever grateful. For now I rest. Closes his eyes.
I think Vincent just looks down at him. Like he probably stuck his head out while he did that. Just doesn't say anything. Looks up. And again, to Carson and the others, his eyes get just a little bit more slitted in the center. And his nails grow a little bit more longer as the wings fold out and flies up.
What time of day is it?
Oh, ding! I know.
Anticipating where you guys currently were within the mine and the transition of the probably like close to 20,000 miles you just made from where you are to where you are now, you ascertained midday, about exactly 3:21.
We're in AMT time, which is Amaranthian time.
That wasn't canon, but it is now.
Yeah.
So it's like mid-work day in Cisco's trading post. Do we want to all bloodily walk out of his shop, or?
Vincent just flew out.
Okay, then.
Are we? Well, hold on. Are we taking the dead body with us? Like, how is this working?
I'm assuming Orion takes them. And she...
Orion left. He went to go take a shower.
This is
Rowena leans in.
Fuck this dude.
She says, I will remain here until the evening, and I will continue my communication. We will take care of this on our side.
Okay.
Jojo, head home and let Ron and Yuka know I'm okay, and that I'm coming home. This is a longer trip than I expected.
Okay. Should I let Cisco know that you're down here?
Yes.
I want to speak with him myself. Leave that to be a surprise. He does so enjoy them.
Okay.
She places her hand on the back of your head, and then places her crystalline hand behind that one, and then leans you in and places her forehead to yours.
I think as she does that, Jojo sort of momentarily is sort of she sort of flinches back away from the crystalline hand.
She lets go immediately, and you can see a look on her face of shame. Go ahead. Head upstairs.
I just need a bit of time.
I understand.
Okay.
She leans down and begins to look over the DuPont.
Love you, Mom.
I love you too, Jojo.
Give Cisco this back for me. He said it's a good luck charm.
I owe him one. She just clutches it.
Okay, bye. I think Jojo feels bad for flinching and then making her mom feel that way, and so she's just like, okay.
As you guys make your way.
It's Jojo's mom.
She looks at you. You like fucking hawk right now. As you look at her, and she just basically gives you a nod of thanks.
Oh, well. I did wait till Vincent left very pointedly because I behaved because he was there, but now he's gone, so.
You were like my cats.
You could have gone full Matilda on her ass the moment we teleported in, and Vincent wouldn't have cared. It was just the fact that we were
Matilda,
yelling in the middle of a mine
yeah,
trap.
That's fine. No, Matilda doesn't know that. She just knew that she waited until the person that told her to behave was gone and was just like, fucking watching you, lady.
As you all find yourself safely upon the end of this journey into Ironhall, you exit Cisco's pawn shop into this little game that kind of spreads off to the side. And then you see this one kind of like just elderly fish-like person looks over towards you and is like, "Hey, Jojo,
Hey, Mortimer, what's up?
you look like shit.
Yeah, I do.
Wanna play chess later?
Yeah, I do.
That sounds good. All right then." He moves.
Actually,
He
do you
moves
wanna-
from you towards the edge and just kind of begins to like places his arms out and plays defense as you guys begin to move out from the chamber.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Do you wanna? Actually, are you busy right now?
No, he stops immediately and comes back towards you.
You wanna play chess right now?
Yeah, I think Cisco's got a few sets. Some I got my eye on recently.
Awesome. Yeah, let's go.
I'll teach you a thing or two. Maybe in your delirious state, you're gonna be better.
Yeah.
He gets to pull you away.
Bloody chess. That's a strategy.
And as the safety of this warm environment begins to pour over you all, you finally manage to take that safe breath outside of the madness of your mission. And this is where we will take another break.
How do you do this bank thing?
Oh, Jojo, do you need a bank account?
Yeah.
Takes it down
No,
to the battery.
actually, you know what? No, I don't need one.
I think you do, love. It
No, I don't think I need one. Actually,
Shouldn't your mother take you to do these things?
I don't need one. I don't need one. Just kidding. Don't need one.
Okay.
I don't want one.
I'm assuming this is the next day.
A nearby NPC, as you guys are walking down the street, is just like, yeah, she really doesn't want a bank account. Okay. And just like continues walking
She's
so that
probably
I,
gonna
as the DM,
bury
can
it.
respond to that.
She's probably gonna bury it.
Best in gold
Wait.
bars.
Jojo, you're not seriously gonna bury this, are you? This is valuable income for the family and yourself.
No, I'm gonna do something else with it. It's
Okay.
fine.
As long as you're using it, like we could, library is something I feel like you might want on the family home.
Yeah, I do. I really want a library.
Just
Bury
hole
it
in
in
the
the back
ground.
near the library,
That's so
and then when
sus
you
right
have
now.
enough, we'll excavate.
Okay. You
As
know,
you-
if you bury enough money, a library grows.
Maybe.
As you guys are having this conversation and they're trying to be like, Jojo, don't bury it, you hear Ron's just like happy voice in your mind. What do we do with money? We bury it. Yuka's like, bury it, bury it, bury it. Tick, tick, tick,
Jojo,
tick,
if you
tick,
want
tick.
to, though, I can also invest and take your money for you.
What if
Hold
I
on to
bury
so
it?
that you can't bury it.
That's like, oh, you're buying an NFT, you're burying money into the ground.
Yeah.
This is a waste of money.
If it's
Yeah.
an
No.
impulse you can't control, I can just make a
No,
bank
I'm gonna
account
go
for you.
pay off a debt. I'm gonna pay a debt
Okay.
With dirt.
with dirt.
Oh no.
I
I
Alright,
do
you you.
want to say as I watch her in the window and like watch where she buries it, so that Matilda,
He doesn't bury it.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say if you did, Matilda would be like, I will always remember where she buried it.
Yeah.
So it's okay that she did this. I wasn't gonna interfere. I was just gonna be like, I will remember where this is. Like
No,
Matilda,
she-
like processing noise.
She brings it to Ron. She gives it to Ron to bury.
How much gold do you give to Ron?
I give Ron 1,000 gold.
Nice.
And I feel like then Ron buries it, doesn't
Oh yeah, he's got a good spot.
he? Has Vincent figured this out? Like, does he know enough about Jojo and her father by now?
I mean, you have a crazy insight. There's no way that you think that money's actually getting like put somewhere proper.
It's fine. She'll just never get her library.
It's supposed to go towards the I don't know, the restitution with the school or something. I don't know what Ron does with it.
Yeah,
Are you sure about
the
that?
school. When she was saying who blew up the school, can we like retroactively, like a few days later, Jojo and Matilda are like, you blew up a school?
No, I didn't. But did you blow up? I mean, I know what you did. You told me what you did at that school. I've heard stories of what you did.
Well, they always talk about what I did. They never talk about what the other people did to make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
How
Exactly.
Yes.
far along is the road, by the way, Adrian?
As you guys reach the outer edge of Old Town, having these constant conversations, you reach the end of the cobble road, and you come up to the edge of a freshly paved stone road that carries you
Ooh.
through the forest with fine little side stone patches. And as you kind of make your way towards the edge of it, finally moving through this packed stone earth, you reach the end, and you see Lavos placing the last brick down, taking a small hammer and just slamming, looking over and seeing it. He's like, "My beloved family, look upon our seeds and reap. Look at
I'm sure
the
that's
No
roads.
need for a
I
fancy
made the
car.
road. We
Thanks,
don't have
Dad.
to worry. Yeah, I hope you don't mind me using a bit of the gold. It was 220
Yeah.
pieces. But I
Yeah.
just got a ding saying that some of my family has deposited gold in the old interface."
Yes, we made some money while we were on JoJo's rank break.
You get notified for that?
Well, I have my own kind of
Oh yeah,
birds, as it were. Ah,
a crow.
aye, yeah. Well, no, I'm just supposed to wink.
Well, does anyone have anything to do here today? Because I wouldn't mind going down to the dungeon interface and quickly re-registering a bunch of stuff. Aside from that, I think a little bit of rest is due to yesterday.
I mean, there are a lot of things that I could do with the mithril that I have. I haven't decided what yet. So
Also,
Uh,
dear, as a reminder, after you've done paying for your extra materials for that and stuff, my recommendation is to put at least 500 gold down on your. Have you named your little shop yet?
Well, the sign fell off pretty early on. I could probably name it anything. It doesn't have a lot of business anyway.
Well, the more you invest, the more people will show up. So
Okay. You said the more. Oh. Ah. Oh. And she's like, "Oh, I shouldn't just have all of this money sitting in my bank. I need to put it into the thing."
yes, I
Um,
have a couple people you can talk to about that. They helped me furnish and build the heart's desires pretty quickly. I can get you in contact with them.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. I need somewhere to work on the upgrades anyway, so I might as well make it
Mhm.
nice before I start and make it messy.
Do we want a few days before we were planning on going into the dungeon again, right?
So
Probably.
soon?
Well, we can give you, what do you think, like a week, Killian? Is that enough to get everything up and running?
Um, I guess you would know better than me.
And it only took my shop's quite a bit larger than yours, and it only took 3 days. Expect them to get it done in like 2.
You've the god of
Sure.
carpenters on your side. I can help you out with that. Gonna be ludicrously fast.
Okay, 3 days would be great then.
What, you fucking slave driver? I'll see what I can do. And he just looks at his like worn out hammer and flips it around. He's like, "I'm gonna need a few new patches." And he
Vincent
just
looks
begins to
over to
move away.
Killian, and he's just like, that's how you drive them forward.
See, Killian wanders over to Lavos and like grabs the hammer from him if he lets her.
Yeah, for sure.
And over the course of a minute, she just kind of chisels away or like carves like very shallow engravings in the hammer before the mending spell finishes, and it is like a nice brand new hammer. Hands it back to him.
Is it my birthday?
No,
If you want it to be. I don't actually know when your birthday is.
I
When
mean,
is
you're
my
God.
birthday?
Isn't every day your birthday?
I guess I
does
kind of
everyone
got
have a
like.
birthday?
I think I probably have 2, to be honest. The human once.
Yeah, your human birthday, and then when you became a god, I guess.
I don't think I can remember that far back.
Well, roll a die. Pick a day.
Thank you, Killian. I'm gonna treasure this. It's almost a waste to hit things with it, but I have to. It's its main function. I think it would cry if I didn't, He puts it back in his tool belt. He gives you a little wink and says, "All right, Vincent, let's meet with those people of yours and let's get this underway." As you guys begin a brief period of downtime, how many days do you want to take off?
3's good.
3? There was also the downtime that had just passed. Or I guess that's included in this, so that's 3. But I did miss a downtime in the when you guys were in the city, so I will calculate that one in now. So for this course of 3 days downtime, do you guys work?
I think, yeah, Jojo probably does 2 days at the Lavender Cafe and 1 day fighting in the pits.
Jojo, you gain 1 silver piece from the Lavender Cafe work and 1 day fighting in the pit. Honor Forge. You gain 1 gold, 5 silver, 5 copper. Killian, do you work over these? And actually, there was also 1 day not working. So, Jojo, let me know when you're good.
Yeah.
You subtract 4 silver, 5 copper. Killian, do you work over this time?
So Killian does not work per se, because she is in the process of upgrading her place of business, as like the first part of her downtime, and then the rest is to see whether she can upgrade Bladebeak before their romp into the dungeon. But that's entirely based on just like I don't actually. Damon does not know how long that type of work would take, so.
Having the raw materials of the mithril is fantastic. However, you know that you will need a dwarvish or an elvish smith to help you with this. It's basically like lost knowledge.
Doesn't he have a dwarf friend?
Ew.
He might have a dwarf who happens to be in the same trade.
You have my blade.
You
If he
have
asked-
my hammer.
If he asked for help, how long would it take?
I'm gonna go ahead and roll. You're spending these 4 days with it.
Yeah.
What do you? Give me a taste of what you're trying to make.
Sure. So the base Bladebeak is like very like Bladebeak Mark 1 is pretty kind of like very jagged, and like a little lopsided, little kind of goofy looking. I think Killian is looking for something a little bit more kind of recrafting not only the beak aspect, but also trying to give a little bit of sleekness to like the front chassis, because that takes most of the kind of punishment, as well as giving an almost like a crest on the back of the head.
Okay, here's
all of that is kind of just armor plating.
Here's what I can offer you for Bladebeak in that. You hear Thringar, who's just like, "Aye, the raw materials. We're gonna lose a bit of it in the transfer, so you can choose. Do you wish to like focus your efforts? You can totally make that amount, like a little feather, or you can focus on a big feather. You can focus on the armor plating on the front, or you can focus on the beak, and then that will grant you either movement speed, armor class, or to hit and damage."
Oh boy, to hit and damage is real good. Yeah, we gotta go with it to hit and damage.
Focusing your attention on the beak and looking at it, kind of bringing Bladebeak in. You and Thringar, go ahead and make a smithing tools check. Both of you. Advantage.
Can I offer something to maybe give like a +5 to this roll?
Ooh, I like that number.
Vincent, knowing that Killian is going to upgrade Bladebeak and that's useful in the dungeon, will give up 1 of his days to help her design it, basically.
Ooh, I like that a lot. Yes. I will give you Killian. Thringar rolled a natural 20. So you will have the full +5 to this roll.
All right. So this is a for these purposes, would it be a con check with smithing tools?
I think so. When you have the time and the resources, I typically think you can choose just about any skill that can be justified. Con sounds good to me.
Yeah, int and con are the same for me, but I figure if I'm doing finicky stuff, it's probably int. But this is like kind of just heavy stuff. All right, and then add my proficiency.
It's still with advantage and another +5, right?
Indeed.
So plus 13. 5
Yes.
from one, 5 from the other, and then 3 from my own.
I'd be whoosh, a 19 and a
God.
20 with advantage. Good lord. So you guys finish this in, like, you're sitting there and he's like, it's probably going to take like 2.5 days just to mold. And then as you guys are looking on towards this material, Thringar's just like, it's like butter. And he begins to meld with it as the two of you begin to work. And you're just like, I think it would work better over here. As he begins to just form it around the outer area of the chassis, and working with this just malleable and brilliant material just finds itself working straight through 2 days. With Vincent's aid and design, looking on towards the feature and thinking like, this curve would look better, a bit more gradual down this pathway. Like a fine lace, you begin to just weave this around. And
He
Bladebeak's
also offers
vicious
to
beak.
paint and like do that stuff as well afterwards, just to make it look a little bit better than last time. Not that it was. It's not saying the bird was bad, but there's always improvements that can be made.
The paint job was definitely bad.
The paint job was bad, and then it was painted over by children in a park. So go ahead and roll painter supplies proficiency as well. You can choose which of your skills you want to attribute to this. And as you guys bear down on this, only 2 days pass before the solid metal, brilliant pale blue sheen of this just glimmering mithril covers the outside of Bladebeak. And that's pretty fucking boss.
Another nat 20.
You
Oh
guys!
my God.
26.
Did we just get like every upgrade from this endeavor, or what?
Yeah, I'll tell you what,
I
you guys
don't know.
gained the luck blade. You found it hidden away in Bladebeak, and you're like, oh, I didn't know this was here. So you all finished that. Excellent. So that's 2 days that you guys have free through the downtime. So moving from Jojo to Killian. Killian, you don't work for 2 days. So that is 2 silver, 8 copper in charge. And then you can work for 2 days if you wish, or you can spend those other 2 days doing something else.
Yeah, the only thing Vincent will ask in return is if anyone asks if like who helped you inspire this, you drop Vincent's name.
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
Do you paint the Heart's Desire symbol on the on Bladebeak somewhere?
It's not gonna be that tacky. It's not gonna be like, I gotta
Fucking
advertise.
advertisement.
We'll let this
So
one go.
for the 2 days that I don't work, it's doing
Uh,
all of that.
yeah.
However, I'm walking out of the bank or into whatever the group is that Vincent has put me in contact with. And I would like to invest, let me look at my inventory real quick. 1,200 gold into my business.
Nice.
Okay, you do not take a loan out with the bank for this, as you kind of just drop the solid cash, and again, drawing quite a few eyes from that. And as the business begins to undergo renovation, all but immediately, Lavos is sitting around being like, they ain't gonna pay us. And he turns towards himself and he's like, you don't know, the union's pretty good. And it's just like, they're never gonna come up with the cash. And as you guys round around, he kind of like jumps off a barrel and is like, we good to start? And as soon as he gets the go ahead, he's like, all right, pulls out that hammer and begins to go to work renovating them with the fine materials you guys managed to produce. That'll take a little while. But that'll basically be like, with Lavos on the job, that takes 1 week to accomplish these renovations.
He said he'd do it in 2 days.
He lied.
That was what was agreed
As a
upon.
slave driver.
No, he's capable of finishing it on time. I was going to say 3 months, but I was like, that joke would go too far. You gain the just normal amount of money from the business previously, which is just 5 copper.
Yeah.
And then over the course of those 2 days, you pay another 2 silver, 8 copper. But investing 1,200 gold pieces into your business, you look upon this, and there's significantly more pride in your face as you enter into this now beautiful looking workshop. Solid oak on the outside with fine trim and like this just flourish that Lavos put in. You open up the now doorway that does not scrape against the ground nor open into dirt, but a fine tile floor. Looking around, you see solid stone outside the entry tile leading towards a hammer, a large forge at the back. You see beyond the forge just a little crawl space that leads to a little workshop. And around you, using all of the distance that you can smushed between these two large buildings, find a long workshop filled with tools and just a brilliant workspace for you. And it is the first time you've ever seen anything like this, and you earned it all yourself. Looking upon it, you feel a beam of pride. And Lavos is just loving it. He's like, can I build anything else? At the end of your downtime, Matilda, 4 days total. You can work up to 3.
Yes! I will not work. Well, I'm going to work, but it's not going to be at my job. I am going to be spending a day harassing all 3 of you about all the knowledge that you guys have of the dungeon that Matilda does not have. And whatever objects have said to you, whatever things have happened that she might not have noticed, she's going to have very detailed notes that she's going to meticulously go through. And then she's going to like take down quotes of things and stuff like that. And then once she's done harassing you guys, she's going to take all that information and add it to the stuff she already has there. But then she's going to take all the stuff that we also, like all the things about the dungeon she'll harass you about the stuff that happened when we were over there. And then bring that stuff and put all of her notes there and all the shit that she's collected. So it's just like, oh man, I just picture, it looks like a scrapbook / like porterhouse nightmare in that little closet room. Where it's just like papers everywhere and like things connected to things and not necessarily string. She has it very fastidiously like organized, but it does look a bit chaotic at the same time.
When you're talking to Jojo about this, Jojo goes on a tangent about like, I think that if we do the sun shrine and then also the moon shrine and then we open up both the gates, I don't think the mansion's gonna be empty if we enter it. And that's like, I want to do that so bad. It's like, oh my god, totally want to do that.
I'll make that note. I also think that if we find a way to make the sword on a more minuscule scale, we'll be able to control it and probably make small portals on our own in a very controlled environment.
Portals from the sword?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that the rifts that happened were from you hitting the sword. They corroborated with each other. I mean, the causation doesn't always equal correlation, but I'm going to look into it some more. But I'm pretty sure if we can recreate that on a smaller scale in a very stable environment, we could probably create our own little rift into the dungeon, and then maybe we bypass the stuff.
We should see what we can find out about the Song of War, what Dallas and I forget what Lana mentioned. I forget what her fake name is.
Okay, but yes. So I take all that information and I do that. I make sure I check up on Jojo's mom to make sure that she's actually at the Lavender Cafe or that Cisco's seen her. She said that she was gonna wait.
She has returned to the Lavender Cafe.
Okay. I just like eyes and leave. I don't talk to her. Just make sure she's there.
Ron's like, hello, how can I? Okay, goodbye. Have a lovely day. He's like, that was nice. And then so you did not work, so that is 1 gold, 8 silver in cost. Are you broke yet? Just kidding.
No, God, no.
And Vincent.
Can I do one last thing? I wanted to send a message to Morgan's brother to see if he responds. Or if he's dead. That's it. And that would have cost me 10 gold. I remember.
I don't know. You need to be familiar with a creature. Let's see, this is. Oh, you're sending a spellogram?
Yeah.
I believe it's
10 gold for the base cost.
For the
and
base,
that's
and then
only 10 letters.
If you want to do, basically, it's a gold piece per word. If you want to do all 25, it's 25 gold.
Okay, basically, are you alive? Okay. 3 words.
Okay.
Does punctuation count?
Typically, no. However, we will still be charged the minimum of 10.
Okay.
Very well. Spellogram. Well, actually, what is your name?
Margaret.
Spellogram from Margaret. Are you alive? And then as they sit there, they're just like, it can't take a minute. Just hold for a moment. How's
Did it
your
go
day?
through?
It certainly went through. Just give me a moment. You guys you sit there for roughly 15 to 20 minutes, and he says, I'm afraid that's the threshold. No response.
It's fine. I just wanted to make sure it went through. This is a really good way to tell if someone's dead or not. And I just leave. That's all I'll say.
Next
Leave.
customer. He's just like, okay.
Can I actually say that instead of working at the Lavender Cafe, I instead was working with Ron to train in cook's utensils?
I think you can do both at the same time.
Oh,
Actually,
cool.
no, I will have to charge
Okay.
you for that. But I will cycle through to Vincent to make sure we get through all
Yep.
4, and then we'll circle back. So, Vincent, do you work?
So one day is with Killian. We had 4 total, right?
Yes.
Okay, so one other day, Vincent's gonna go to the Valentine estate and request a chat with Carmina and let her know that all of our personal business is done and we're about to head into the dungeon. So I can finally start focusing in on their little predicament. But I need a favor from them. I can, of course, pay. But he offers up a design to create a magical earpiece of sort called the Silent Melody so that he can practice his instruments without everyone hearing it all the time.
First thing, well, let's actually get through all of it, and then I'll circle back to any kind of RP. So that was 2 days. Do you work for the other 2?
Yes, he will spend the other 2 in the Heart's Desires, just since he spent 2 months there and then took a couple days off and then is back. So just assessing, seeing how Lavos did on his own. Everything's up to snuff.
So that's wealthy performance.
Yeah, he'll play at the Heart's Desires.
You gain 4 gold, 2 silver, and from just the gold that you gain from the Heart's Desires, that is 3 days. You gain 19 gold, 9 silver.
Okay. I'd like to know how much the enchantments are going to be. And Vincent would also like to request that they move the +1 short sword enchantment over to his rapier.
That's no problem. That ends up costing you about 25 gold pieces.
Okay, and how much is the other thing going to cost?
And the creation of the magic item. This is a common magic item you're looking for, yes?
Yeah, I think we discussed it. Yeah, it's uncommon.
There's
Common.
100 gold pieces to begin the enchantment, and an additional 25 for labor. So 125 to attempt to create this, and it'll take about 10 days.
Oof. Okay. After that, let me do a quick calculation. Vincent will dump 680 gold into his Heart's Desires to bring it up to an even 5k invested.
680. You also paid 1 gold towards your loan, which is not subtracted from anything else. So I'll take that off of there. And then you're investing another, you bring it up to an even 5.
Yeah, 5,000, so 680 gold.
Excellent. So people begin to move in and to reupholster, and they begin to outfit with fine fascia boards, as the area becomes that much more fancy. As you begin to do that, now back to as you enter into the Valentine estate, you find there's a bit of a hectic motion. Moving in, you hear, "I will not be kept in such squalid surroundings. I wish to play." And down the stairs, you see a young girl moving down, long black hair, almost to the ground. She's wearing a nightgown with bright pink eyes, and she looks at you. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Is this I'm assuming a couple days have gone by. I can't access any of Vincent's stuff. It seems to be locked. I need his character icon. It won't allow me to.
Even from your character sheet?
Okay. Yeah, the sword thing just wasn't working, so I'll have to do it through here.
I can bring you guys in. Boop, 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 boop.
There we go. So you said wisdom saving throw?
Indeed. Her eyes glare for a brief moment as she catches your gaze. You see Carmina step on the staircase between the two of you, and she picks her up, and her aggressive smile that's bearing down on you, her head cocks a little bit to the side, the stained glass window behind framing her silhouette, and as her hair begins to lift and you look at her, you begin to feel fear that you immediately shirk off as Carson leans in and kind of just
Can I, assessing the situation, this child seems bored. Is there anything Vincent thinks, based on her demeanor, age, everything he knows about children and stuff he's read, like maybe a song or something, like a spell from minor illusion to help brighten her day a little bit.
Roll intelligence performance for your knowledge of performance in the past.
First, I want to, is it possible to figure out something that's more catered towards her specifically instead of a general one?
With your proficiency in insight, you can have advantage on this check.
Cool. Intelligence performance.
Carmina superimposes herself between the two of you, and as she picks up the little girl, her immediate death glare kind of just continues onto you.
Didn't add anything to the roll. It's supposed to add a +6, so it should be 16.
16? Like, you are aware enough of kids' like recent stories, especially with like what's been popular in plays and various different things. She is of high society, so you ascertain she's probably close to something like that. But like perhaps what's popular, what you've seen be popular recently, is wooden horses.
Okay. As Carmina tries to like assess the situation and superpose, Vincent just raises his hand. Don't worry, dear. She just wants to play. And as he starts, the magical key rings will ring out, and he starts playing. He's gonna subtle spell minor illusion and just have some horses like basically show up and gallop around with the music that he does.
Go ahead and roll a normal performance check from this creation. And as the mystic creations begin to flip around and fly, she stares up towards them for a brief moment and says, "My, how fanciful. Wondrous creations dancing in the sky. I want a horse. Carmina, I want a horse." She just begins to bubble as her personality almost shifts, and Carmina's like, "Yes, excellent. Vincent, great work. Come, go rest."
To be a bit of a handle.
Go rest in the aquarium. Whatever you did, fantastic. She begins to take this little girl. She's like, "Come on, Vanessa, stop. I'll place you down." And then the little girl just grabs her hand and says, "A horse, post haste. Carmina, I want a horse." She's like, "I'll bring you one. Don't be a brat." And they both stare at each other for a moment. She's like, "Very well." As she slowly begins to take her away and you are brought to the side, she says, "Consider this contract complete, Vincent. But we still wish to find this individual." And as that mulls around in your head for a brief moment, camera pulls away. Matilda, was there something you still wanted to do that I managed to miss? I can't recall. I don't think so. Okay, excellent. As you all begin to find your sway once more in the city, and the intensity bears down to once again a sign of peace. Killian, you look onwards towards your new shop and your shiny new blade beak. Fit so many limes in this baby. You look on, you see Jojo finally witnessing your family home safe once more. Vincent sitting within the Valentine estate, beginning to work on these little bits of interest and your brand new magic items with the enchanters that are apparently finished with this quest that they have given you. And Matilda.
Yeah, we can talk about it later. I don't know what you mean by that.
Exactly. And Matilda, as you are kind of looking on throughout the city and establishing this interest and corroborating all of your dungeon information into one Matilda tome, you hear a voice in your head that says, More awaits, but you have done well. I will need more." And that is where we will end today's session.
Don't we all?
You hear two more voices in your head in unison. You're like, yep. Thank you all for watching. And until next time, at the Dragon Lake. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
This one.
You did it.
Yay!